Vance Kiprono Korir, a nursing student and also a passionate leader. Now, thank you, Pen, for giving us this opportunity as student leaders so that we can have a candid conversation in regards to what is happening in our nation. In regards to the hashtag that we have been using, that is tribeless and leaderless, I subscribe to the one for the tribeless because whatever we are facing is not something that is specific to certain tribe. It is for all of us. The call to dialogue is not something that we disagree with it, but it happened last year. But what we are much questioning about it is what is the accountability, what is the follow-up of all these cases. Because every now and then the only thing that the government thinks about is the dialogue. And when we have a dialogue, they will pick someone, maybe to be the head of that particular people. By that, they will embrace the challenges and the few constraints that have been raised by the same people, and then they absorb them to the system. Last year, presidents, all the country was picked, around 70 of them. And then by that, they had their own system. Yeah. They were discussing on the new funding model. At the end of that discussion, they gave out a report. After that report, you have not kept anything afterwards, because they have already done with their regime. We were speaking about the finance bill. Yes, they done it down, but deep inside it was functioning. We rejected the new funding model. They are telling us now that the High Court or the Supreme Court have suspended it. But on ground it is functioning. Our students nowadays are missing classes because of the school fees. Do we need a dialogue to discuss them with them that they need to resolve the new funding model cases? Do we need a dialogue to discuss that they have to send the loans to the students? Do we need a dialogue for them to stop the police brutality that is happening? As we talk now, I have a comrade who was shot during the demonstration. We are partying him tomorrow. And he had no issue. He's just residing there in along the road in Thika, and he was shot dead. He was a law student, a fourth year, and then he was only shot with no issue. So the reason why we are here today saying that we are tribeless and even we are leaderless, it is because they will just pick a few. When they see there is someone who is actually leading this demonstration, they will get that one voice. And let me tell you, Pen, having 2 or 3 faces in the government doesn't speak for 70%, 75% and more that the youths, which are actually carrying the largest population in Kenya. Having a small population of youths in government is actually trying to silence our youth population, which is not good at all, because the issues that we are facing is for all the generation that we are having. That is 75% population of our country. And we don't need even symbols. We need a systems that work. And it is much clear that what we are actually campaigning for is the systems that work for the people, a system that is integrity, a system that favors the people that they are leading, a kind of leadership that serves, but not the leadership that rule. Because whatever we are facing now, it's about dictatorship. When we come on ground and we say we need like this and this and this, they tell us that we need a dialogue. Once we have a dialogue, they know they will always succeed. Because at the end of the dialogue, they will have a few executives, they are given 25,000, they are given 50,000, they commercialize the same dialogue. At the end of the day, you will not get any justice. Whatever we are fighting for now is the justice to our comrades. Because majority of our students are actually on the streets. Majority of our graduates are actually on the streets. It is unemployment, the economic frustration. They are actually milking us and you have nothing to offer. They have already started taxing us even when you have not started doing any job. That is the kind of system that you are facing now. And the Gen Z or the current generation that we have are the people that can't be silenced. Even if you will pick 2 or 3, even if you will kill around 100 of them, they will still come back and say, no, this is a no and system is failing. It is time to change the system that they are working on, because the only thing they think is to recycle the leaders that they are having.
And we will be talking about leadership, because at the end of the day, we cannot just keep on talking about the youth being the leaders of tomorrow. You want to be leaders now. So how do you group yourself? We'll be talking about that. But let me pick Carl Peter's mind in regards to the dialogue, because at least I have had an opportunity to hear what the two of you have talked about. And you do not want dialogue, you want action. Carl Peters, do you share the same thing?
Thank you so much, Ben. Well, I am Carl Peters Ogal, and I am the president of KBC University. And previously, you just said KBC University is Kenya College of Accountancy.
Yeah,
so I would like to correct you on the same.
Yes.
It is not an abbreviation. KCA is a name. it is KCA University that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no
So,
abbreviation.
yeah, there have been misunderstandings every time.
But
every now
initially
and
it
then.
was that.
Yeah, it was, but then
Yeah.
it is not.
Yeah.
It is KCA University. You see, sometimes you find everyone asking you about what is KCA University in full. No, it is not an abbreviation.
All right.
It is a name.
Okay.
Well, so thank you so much for having me here. And today we are talking about a generation, Gen Zs, and we're talking about dialogue. So
Yeah.
my view on dialogue is that the country needs dialogue, but it has to be done differently. You understand? They've been doing dialogue for how long? How many times have we been doing dialogue? Is there any change? They say you can't be using the same tricks to get a different result. And that is exactly what the government is doing. They pick few people whom they dialogue with. They pick, let's say, the political leaders, not actually the people on the ground. They pick the rich. They dialogue with the rich. They don't dialogue with the people that are facing the real issues. So there have been dialogue. Well, since I was born, I've been seeing dialogues. But then, where's the change?
Sure.
There is no change. Well, if you see the Gen Z revolt that started last year in 2024 during the finance bill, what has changed since then? We have been going to the streets. Does the government learn? No, they don't. You will face the police brutalities, they continue. There is nothing that is changing. The taxes, they continue. Like, so you see there is no need for dialogue. The government should know that we don't need leaders that speak for us. We need leaders that speaks with us.
Sure.
You see, we need to be involved. Well, you see, this is a generation that we don't wait for the future. We drag the future into the present. We won't wait for the government. We don't want to wait for the... You see, right now there are commercial activists everywhere. They make a lot of noise. They are singled out. Then they claim there's a dialogue. Whereas the people that are facing the issues, they never dialogue with that. So we are asking the government to involve the real people that are facing the issues, not just dialogue with the leaders. You need to dialogue with the real people, which is the wananchi. Yes.
Let's go to governance. It's a good thing that you don't want dialogue, but you want action.
Yes.
At least there's a solution to that. We don't want dialogue, we want action.
Exactly.
All right, let's go to governance. And I'm looking at the 2027 polls that are coming. And I'm expecting for the first time in the history of Kenya, we'll be having a lot of Gen Z leaders. The one thing that you have said, and it has resonated very well with Kenyans, is that you're tribeless, you're leaderless, and mostly the tribeless issue. You're always talking about the Mount Kenya, we're talking about Murima, we're talking
Yes.
about the western, we're talking about the coastal vote. But you have said,
Yes.
we are tribeless.
Yes.
But you know very well, let's be very honest, Kenyan politics are full of tribalism.
Okay.
How do we change this narrative from the Gen Z so that we may also incorporate other Kenyans as well?
I'll give you an example. So my name is Dana Makena Kimathi. Me being called Makena Kimathi, I am a lady who was born in Ukambani. My dad is from Kamba, but I was raised in Meru County. After whatever happens in every family happened. You understand? And at the same time, I have a region of mine which has grown up inside Nairobi. So when we say we subscribe to the tribeless agenda, that meaning it even resonates deep inside ourselves, our roots, that we are yet to identify our roots. Because that is the generation which was behind us, what they did. So at the end of the day, what we, the young generation, are asking for, I have happened to work with various political parties. That is Wiper Democratic Political Party, and currently I am the National Deputy Secretary General of United Patriotic Movement, which is an upcoming political party. So at the end of the day, what these the young youths want, it is not only to be in the ballot. The ballot carries around 3,000 and something. We also have other parastatals these youths can be inside. When we talk about the youths, we are not talking about a 10-year-old child. We are talking about a person who is from the age of 18 years to 35 years. This is a person who understands what a policy is. This is a person who understands what it is to run even such a media, such as Kenya, KBC station. So at the end of the day, we should stop pushing the youth inside the youth cocoons. Yani, the only seat the youths can occupy in their lifetime, it is anything which is abbreviated to the youth. These youths are the same people you have expected in every company, in every parastatal, to be implementers. They're the same youths in every place. They have been the think tanks beside every upcoming company. But now what do you want? To push the youths inside the corners of them as the youths. To push the people with disability inside the corners of people with disability. Yet these people, they have minds, they have demonstrated every now and then coming up with the innovative plans. They are the same youths who have given us answers to critical moments. But here we are. We don't want to listen to these youths. We want to sit down and tell them they are the leaders of tomorrow. When is this tomorrow, Troy?
Yeah, and I want us to narrow it down
years.
because you know very well that our governance and politics are so tribal. I have no apologies in saying that because we have seen even the political parties formation. We can say that there is an element of tribe in many political parties without naming any party. How do we change the tribalism that the Gen Z have so that we may put it in our governance as Kenyans? I'm not a youth, at least I'm not a youth. So at least I'm one of the people you should be drumming up support for the tribalist thing so that our politics might not be political, tribal in 2027. How do we navigate this?
Exactly, and that is what we are doing apparently. We have refused at any point to subscribe to the phrase which says, wewe ni wa Murima, wewe ni Mkale, wewe ni wa wapi. We see each other as youths, people of same issues, as a Gen Z tribe. That is our tribe at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, it starts with, it is a mentality thing that every change comes with disruption. That is very true. And if it is now the time to change the navigation of our own politics as they are. And that is why every time we don't want to subscribe to anything which is called being tribal, which is pushing me to the tribe of, I am from Meru County, I am from Mount Kenya region, you are from Rift Valley. So, at the end of the day, we the youth, when you sit down, we as Generation Z, when you sit down, we ask ourselves one question. Yule youth Mkale, si hata yana face unemployment the same way I'm facing unemployment. Uyo youth mwenye ako campus, mimi ni wa Murima, yeye ni kutoka side ya Omabi. Yeye ni Mjaluo. See, ana face the same national funding model every Kenyan citizen is facing at the end of the day. So it is time now, we want to change the politics from tribal-based politics to issue-based politics. I think it is a wake-up call.
Maybe picking from where McKenna has left, Evans, one of the ways that maybe you can work this out is maybe forming your own political parties. Because, let's be very honest, look at the political parties. Many of those we have in the country, they have a political tag and also a tribal tag in some ways. How do we change this so that in 2027, if at all you guys are going to gang up and come up together as Gen Zs and says we need to change the leadership of this country, how are we going to do away with the tribal politics that we have?
First, Ben, thank you for the question. And first, maybe to bring a clarity of it, is that a tribalist tag that it has been brought on board started actually recently. So to me, it's a generation that is coming up. Even if we will not make today, we are very sure that whatever we are agitating for, it will still remember us for reducing the kind of system that is failing. The transformation that we are trying to bring on board, in as much as we are coming from different tribes, we are also come to the fact that we are facing the same challenges in the country. Whatever I'm facing here in Nairobi, whatever I'm facing in Thika, is the same thing that a citizen is facing in Kisumu, in Rift Valley, in Nyanza, in even Mombasa. So we are all in the same community, in the same village. And we are trying actually to bring the same things that we are facing up to the picture of everyone, that everyone understand that whatever we are agitating for. In fact, when we were doing our demonstration last year, parents didn't agree with it until we succeeded. That is when now they come and applaud us. They applaud us immediately after we have done the job. We have done our assignment, because they didn't believe that this is going to happen. So for now, we know that this is a transformative agenda. We might not be in a position to form a political party, because whatever we are facing now, yes, it needs a structure. But whenever we have a structure, we have always witnessed the structure being brought down. The same structures that we can create today, and we say this is a Gen Z movement. I remember immediately last year, a guy formed an inject party. But immediately after that one was taken to the government, because the only thing that the government knows, or the system that we are having, is to ensure that they have silenced all the youth that are in front line. Recently, when we were doing our demonstration, you find Kasmil Makaori, who was leading us last year in USA, doing his debates over there. So here we are still under the same economic frustration. So when they find there is this guy who is actually in fluent position and can represent the voice of the people, they always try to absorb to the system and silence him by giving maybe some tokens, and then at the end of the day we have closed the system. Whatever we are facing now as the youth and even the generation that we are having, that is by the name Gen Z, is that we want to formulate ourselves into one community. Once we have one community, as by statistics, we have around 14 million Gen Z will be voting 2027. We know maybe 4 million can be compromised, but we'll have 10 million. To mean we'll be in government. We'll have several people who will be in government by that time. In as much as we speak of the tribal politics, we know that whatever we are facing, the issue base that he has mentioned, is that when we still come to the table of discussion, we know this is wrong and this is right. Even if you will bring me to the tribal kind of politics, I will still have an information to go back to my village and tell the people, this is not right. I will go back to my county, that is Bomet County, and I tell them that this is not right. We have a civic education. We have a duty to do. That is why we are leaders. Are leaders who always look forward to having service to the people, having service to the people that we are leading, having service, but not even being a ruler. It is someone who gives service to the people. And that is what we stand for. The leadership that we are having at this particular point is the leadership that have served the people, that are much concerned with the system that we are having. Look at now. The education system is failing. Even the health system is failing. You will find most of us are facing a lot of frustration when it comes to education system. I've mentioned to you that we have a number of comrades who are actually failing to attend the exams. We are preparing for our final semester exams, and then they have not even get fees. They don't know where else are they going. We are finding an education system that can even solve the issues on transiting the student from the education system to the job market. How many graduates are still tarmac in the roads? They are always in streets campaigning for the free system that can bring them to the limelight, that they can also get jobs. Look at the initiative that the government...
You've mentioned something very interesting, that indeed you have around 14 million. Even if 4 million are compromised, we have around 10 million. But at the end of the day, the Kenyan setting, we have to be in a political party to seek governance or leadership positions.
Not really. We have independent candidates.
So that's the move you want to go?
It is not even about that alone.
Yes.
We still have time. We still have time to have our own decision, because the moment we decide now we have this political party, they will try all their means and to bring down all these things. We still have all of this year. We still have next year. We need to put your cards to your chest. Because the moment we show it on the public, they will know now this is their own direction. Let's now serve through this leader. By now, we still do our own things in our own home. You will take as many as you can, but you will still find us intact. Still perpetuating the same kind of thing. We are always on street demonstrating, but that is the kind of demonstration that we'll be doing during election. You will find Dikaron is normally full when it comes to demonstration. The same during election, we'll still fill our own polling station to ensure that we vote out. Even our parents, I don't think they will get a chance to vote, because we are the one to own it.
All right, we want to incorporate everyone, and especially now that Gen Z, you've given us a Damascus moment where you say that indeed you are the future and the present as well. Let me hear what Carl Peters has to say in regards to youth coming up together. Indeed, from the hashtags, we have seen that you can raise numbers. And from the demonstrations, Gunza side, we have seen that indeed your voice has to be heard. Moving on, in matters governance. You are agitating for, we need this to be done. We don't want the discussions are done. We've had BBI, we had the likes of NADCO, we had the likes of, I remember these talks, they were called what? Okay, I've forgotten the other talks. We've had a number of talks. But you as a generation, you really need to group yourselves.
Yes.
How are you going to do in that, in as much as you're saying that for now, you wouldn't want to group yourself in the political formations that we have?
Yes, thank you so much, Ben. Well, we have to, if there's one thing that we have to agree on, is that the politics of this nation are tribal. That is one thing that we need to agree. But then, here is a generation whereby we want to clear that. Because you will find that there is a certain political party that it is affiliated to a certain region or an area. When you find, let's say, it's ODM, the people from the Nyanza region, Western Coast, whatever. When you come from the UDA, last time it was Mount Kenya, Rift Valley, that way. So you'll find out that the people in these areas that they won't listen to anything. As long as their political kingpins have told them something, and that is their tribal leader, they will follow them blindly. And that is what we are here to change. Because at the end of the day, whether you voted for this government or not, you're going to suffer. We are all suffering. So it is something that I would urge the country. I would urge all the Gen Zs. The biggest elephant in the room is tribal politics. If there is something that we need to agree on that we are denying, we are tribal. But then, let us not let that sink in us. The tribal lords that try to align us with certain political parties, align us to certain political kingpins, whereby you will find out that these people, let me tell you one thing. You see these political kingpins, these people are very selfish.
Yeah.
Once they have got the privileges themselves, they forget about the wananchi. You will there is nowhere where you will get anything from them. What will you enjoy by mtu wetu ako pale? What do you gain? You gain nothing. It is just an
you run a risk of being compromised the more, if at all you don't maybe group yourself in one way or the other. Because right now, your gathering is in the social media platforms.
Yeah.
You don't have, maybe you meet in Kasarani or you meet in Bomas. You don't have those meetings that we've seen, the political meetings that we've seen year in, year out. You mostly use the social media spaces.
Yes.
But from the social media spaces, how do we transform that into tangible results?
Now, we can transform this into a group. Well, what I will say is just one thing, because the issues, we don't need a political party. The suffering, the issues, the purpose puts us together. It brings us together. We don't need a political vehicle, so that we can push our agenda. The things that we are facing as a country does not need a political party. Whether you are in UDA, whether you are in DCP, whether you are in ODM, whether you are in Money, you will all suffer. So, but the issues that we face, they challenge everyone.
Indeed, the issues, as you say, are a common denominator for every Kenyan.
The issue are a common denominator.
Yes, and I want to know what you guys are doing as presidents of your student unions to improve not only governance, but also to, there are some people who have not really come out as Gen Z to say, yes, indeed, I want this seat. The more we need to incorporate them, the more they will also seek leadership or even governance in the country. In your universities, what platforms do you have other than
Ben,
the digital?
Excuse me, before we proceed, allow me to correct something. We are not tribal. Because if we could be tribal, I'm in Mount Kenya region, I could not be elected as the president.
Yeah.
If we could be tribal, we could not have shown up for the finance bill protest. If we could be tribal, we could not have shown up to all these demonstrations that
I totally concur. That's why I say you're tribal.
Yeah, for the parents and the rest of the people, we have no issue with that. But that is something that he has brought, that we are the fact that we are tribal, but we are not tribal. We know what we want, and we know how we are going to fix ourselves into the system. And by that, we will change and we will overhaul the system that we are having and facing currently.
You need just allow me to clarify on that same issue. What I said is, this country, it is tribal.
Politics.
Traditionally, politics. The politics of the nation are tribal. But then, I'm saying this is a generation that we are here to change that. You see, if you don't accept the issue at hand, you cannot correct it. You have to identify that there is an issue. Without identifying the issue, we say, some people, you see, they say you can treat the symptoms, but you don't treat the disease itself. The disease, the biggest disease of this nation is tribalism. And it's the first thing that, as a generation, we are all out there to fight it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Let me hear what you guys are doing, because at the end of the day, in my journalism career, I've also had mentors. And without naming them, one of them is Jimmy Gathu. And I say he more or less like, you know, lit my way, you know. Gen Zs, you want to take over governance in our country. Are you having mentors, or you don't want the political class anywhere where you guys are doing your politics?
Okay, you see, when we say mentors, you are cocooning us, you want to cocoon us in such a form where you are asking us, do we subscribe to?
No, I actually wouldn't want that. Actually, I wouldn't want us to get there because we make this show political, and I wouldn't want that because we are looking at governance issues, not even political issues.
Sure. So, what we subscribe, we are a nation who cultivate out our parents by telling them that act is toxic. You understand? They're our own parents. And if I can tell my own mother that, Mom, what you have done there is toxic, that's bad. And it's not good. We are a generation where I personally, as Diana McKenna, I subscribe to that good deed you have done. But once you do a bad deed, I will come out to tell you, you have done a bad deed at the end of the day. Because no one is all. At first, when we were starting the demonstrations and going to the streets and what have you, our main key thing was not even the tribe. Our main key thing was the corruption which was ongoing in the country. The panya routes where the tax money of the common mwananchi was entering inside too. That was our main cry.
But corruption has been there, McKenna. Corruption has been there since.
Relax. That is the language now we want to change of it has been there, so there is nothing which can
No. I'm not saying we cannot end corruption.
There's something which can be done.
You're saying you are against corruption. We have been against corruption, but we have seen the efforts that have
But now we want action. Look at this point where people are flaunting out shoppers everywhere. People are flying. Every day they are supposed to be serving Kenyans, but their work was flying outside. Yeah? Look at the point where people are wearing watches which were costing a lot of money with the common mwananchi's money.
The question is, how are you guys grouping yourself in the different platforms?
I am coming to answer you. Yeah. I'm coming to answer you.
And especially in university, because your comrades are watching, right?
Yeah, we are in universities and what have you. But I personally, I have gone globally, countrywide, to get all Kenyans inside the box to understand their civic rights. Once a Kenyan person understands that that politician you have set there is not a highly profiled person, but that person is your employee. That person is paid by your own tax. You don't have to beg. One, you don't have to beg for decent life. You don't have to beg for better policies. You don't have to. It is your rights. And once we educate Kenyans about their rights, about the certain leaders, the certain attributes they have to look inside before electing a particular leader, that is something which is upcoming. Like, for example, I'll tell you one. In Meru County, we have come up with something which is called the Meru Sisters Convention, where we are trying to make sure the 2/3 affirmative rule, we are not achieving it by nomination. Because we have realized, by nominating these people, their work is to go and be stupid in parliament. I'm sorry, but some of them are being stupid in this parliament.
Yeah.
No, it's just the truth as it is. You understand? So at the end of the day, it is good we sit down and elect these people. Not only the women, we have still come up with dialogues where we have to capacity build the youths themselves to make sure they enter in the ballot, not only as an aspirant, but as potential candidates who are up to win this thing. And in the end of the day, if we focus in cleansing the legislature levels, that is the county assembly, the national assembly, and the senate, then we will be having people who are coming up with better policies which are issue-based and which the people understand and aligns to them at the end of the day. So asking me what I'm doing it globally, and also even in Kenyatta University itself. I've been a champion of civic democracy. I've been a champion of right democracy as it is, because I believe a good democracy is justice to its own people. Because this is where you elect someone who aligns to your own agenda, someone who understands, someone you can question at the end of the day. If you are elected by the people, make sure, back of your mind, that these people of yours one day, they will come back to question you. Yes.
Evans,
Yes.
McKenna has mentioned something quite important on civic education, and we saw what happened last year during the finance bill. It was even translated, and even people would do some TikTok videos explaining them in our local dialects. Other than civic education, and what exactly are you doing as a student leader at Mount Kenya University to create more awareness to your comrades in regards to governance? The good thing is that you have said the common denominator is that things are not working the way they should be, or the way as the Gen Z you would like them.
Thank you. Well, whatever I'm doing in Mount Kenya University is actually something which incorporates everyone. Number one, I've done leadership forums. We did season 1. Recently, last week on Friday, we had season 2. Season 1, we were discussing on leadership and governance, where I invite all the student leaders across the universities, colleges, and technical institutions, and then our students in MKU. And we invite Akesti, of course, to come on board. Last week, we had also our own season 2 leadership forum. And in this forum, we had more than 20 universities, student leaders, presidents, and the cabinet members, together with our students. And those coming from polytechnics, colleges, and even all the universities, they were in. When we come together and network and we interact and we pass now these messages that we are facing as the young generation, at least they have found the same denominator that we are speaking about. They will realize that there is something that we are facing in MKU. There is something that the same comrade is facing in Machakos University, the same in Buana University, the same in Laikipia University. So when I bring all these people together and have a discussion, a candid discussion on leadership and governance, they will still have the same civic education that she's speaking about. It is the same knowledge that we are getting in our university when we come together and we have a discussion. Because not all of us are exposed to the current situation and trends that we are facing. But we bring together all the students, we inform them that this is the right channel that we are going to have. We normally have the forums that bring together all the universities, through even the association and the clubs. That is when we have all those discussions. When we are discussing on demonstration, the protest, the police brutality, they normally call me and we go and discuss with them. Through that, we are mentoring also our own in our universities, so that when we are done with the university, we will still have the content that this guy one day told us this is not the right thing. The police brutality that we are facing today, the same comrade that we lost when we were university, we need to fight this same system. So if today or 2027 you will find 200 MPs, member of parliament who are Gen Zs, let me tell you, they will overhaul the entire system. Because them, you see the picture of the nation that these people are looking for. They are expecting a Gen Z to run for the president. That is actually ironical. They might not even find a Gen Z running there, but they will find us, because we know the system is not only on the political side. We have even the KRA, we have even the healthcare system, we have even the education system.
Sure.
These are the same system that we are speaking all about. We have the treasury. We know that if in case we show our interest in the position at the top, they will still they will still kill us, they will still intimidate us and even threaten us. But for us, we look at this point where the governance will still start from MCA, from MB, from Senator, the most political point where policies are being implemented. That is where we are targeting. Once we are there is when now we can now rule the nation. Because when you are a member of parliament or you are a senator, it means you can govern the nation. That is the thing that we are thinking about as the Gen Z. As a university, we are also nurturing young leaders to also come to the consent that they need to speak. They don't have to be silenced, because no matter how many times the government will kill us, no matter how many times they will sell fare unto us, no matter how many comrades will be killed on streets, they will still know this is not the right thing that we are fighting for. Last year we did it and we succeeded. Even this year we have done it and we are still succeeding. Next year in 2027 it will be our time, because we have been waiting for a very long time. Actually, for now we are not living. We are just surviving. We are just survivors in the streets. So we need to tell them that it is your time to pack and go. We need to take over and show you this is the kind of leaders that we need. You see Ibrahim Traore, how he's doing a lot of things. He has even reduced the salaries for the first thing he did, he was to reduce the salaries for the politicians. The same thing we are facing in this current system that we are having. Politicians are given more money. And then the teachers who are teaching in higher institution and even in primary school, the ECD, they are not receiving money. And you'll find these MPs, they are having a lot of cars when they are traveling for this economic empowerment. You will find them tell me about Asla Fund initiative that was happening. They gave out 500, 1,000, 50,000. At the end of it, where is it at this particular point? That was not an opportunity for the youth. It was just a money laundering kind of thing. Because these people are turning us to be the slaves.
The Hustler Fund is still functioning.
It is functioning, but tell me on your records how many people have been assisted, which are the working businesses that has been started through the Hustler Funds.
All right, I do not have those statistics, but for clarity is that it's not yet dead yet. It's still working.
Then why was what was the main objective? Because it is not serving the need that we are having. Why is it that after
it's not serving the needs
initiative
of the youth? Okay.
Yes. Why is it that after them initiating the Asla Fund, it has not assisted our youths? We are still finding more than 50,000 of them graduating every year, but they don't even get a job outside.
Yeah, to be honest, it needs a lot to be done, right?
Of course, there are a lot of things that need to be done. So for us, we are trying all our level best as the young leaders so that we can also pass this civic education to our students, to our colleagues who believe in us, and once they have trusted in us, like find me in Mount Kenya University, I'm leading 62,261 students. In all these universities, if in case they will do the same of civic education in our level, then we go back to the community. Let me tell you, it is much easier for us to change the tribal kind of politics. And we have a system that works for everyone. We have a system, or we have the kind of leaders that are ready to lead and to serve on the front, but not the people who are coming and threaten us and to rule us. We are not in that kind of leadership that you find you are superior than any other person. You will find an opportunity to kill them when they speak out.
Carl Peters, your colleagues have mentioned indeed civic education as one of the, let's say, the beacon of hope, and especially when it comes to the Gen Z, because the good thing is that most of the Gen Zs are well learned. I'm looking at another weapon that you guys need, and that is the ID card and the voter's card. You bear me witness, you've seen during elections where the youth, you know, they are there, they're mobilized, they do everything, but at the end of the day, they do not go to the ballot to vote. Because looking at the statistics of 2022, majority of the youth did not vote. Actually, those who had ID cards did not register, were more than the votes that won the election, meaning that if at all the Gen Z come out, register as voters, and decide on the president of this country, you can change this country.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir. On the issue of civic education, I just want to clarify the same on that.
Yeah.
As KCA University, I'm the president KCA, and whatever we usually do, we usually have monthly leadership forums. These forums, we usually tunazieka online, so that we can be able to access as many students as possible. Well, KCA, we operate on 4 campuses. We have the main campus there at Ruaraka. We have a town campus here in CBD Monrovia. We have a campus in Kitengela and one in Kisumu. So we have the council campus leadership committees from every campus. So what we usually do is that there are weekly forums whereby the CLC leaders, they hold their meetings within their campus from all the campus. Then we do it monthly now to combine everyone. We usually tell them about the matters that are rising in the country, the current affairs. Like we were talking, like the last month we talked about the police brutality. Because one thing that was stressing me and is being a concern is that as a nation, we have been protesting for around 1 year now. But what does the government learn? They don't learn. We die every day, nothing changes. And you find out that people are really making reckless statements. The CS, and there was an MP, and then previously the president. He said, shoot on the leg. So you find out that the Gen Zs, this generation will not need to go to a political rally to dismantle a policy. You would say how they have dealt with the shoot the leg thing. They just have dismantled it through memes. The memes have dismantled that thing until the president had to explain himself. CS had to explain himself. So we need to tell our people, and that is what we are doing as KC University. I don't usually do it in KC alone, even in my residential places, because you find out that these millennials, these old people, they need a lot of time to talk about this thing, to understand wherever we are going as a country. Wherever I go, I live along Thika Road. Whenever I'm with the people around, I usually engage them in political discussions and matters affecting the nation. When I go back home in Homa Bay, Karachuonyo, I meet people, the youths. Then we have talks about the nation. We have talks about the matters that face us as a nation. Because you find out that the people will just elect someone because they can be given some cash. What is 50 bob doing to you? What is 100 bob doing to you? Whilst you suffer for the next 5 years.
Have you also included the fact that they need to get their IDs and also their voter
I'm just coming to that. Recently, there is we were talking with the USPAC chairperson, that is Alan Chacha, and he was telling us that he had a proposal. Now, you see, now the IBC is now constituted. We are negotiating so that the campuses can be used as centers whereby people, the students, can usually take their votes and register as voters. Because if we can capture these students, we have to capture them through the campuses. And whenever I talk to the students, I usually tell them, you see, we can just make a lot of noise, but then if we don't vote, if we don't take the IDs, then we're just going to suffer. Because you see, this is a democratic country. If we have to push this government out, we're going to push them out through the ballot. It has to be done democratically. And the only way we can do that is to ensure that Gen Zs wamechukua kura as many as possible. And in as much as we push the Gen Zs kuchukua kura, we also talk to our parents. We also talk to these older people, because it is them that does not seem to learn. If they have that political kingpin, they believe whatever he says is right. Well, I can tell you about I was a IEBC clerk in the last general election. And you will find out that someone would tell you, an old person, they won't care whoever they are electing. They come and tell you, mimi nataka watu wa ODM. Hajui any one of them. He can't see, he can't write, he can't read. But he tells you, nieke Raila na watu wake. What does that mean? And you find out that these people
there's inadequate civic education.
Yeah.
And even matters governance.
Yes, that is why when I'm at home, we ensure that we talk even to them. We tell them, you see, there's nothing that you gain by just voting someone because they belong to a certain political party. When you vote them because of their political parties, they will not work. They will work so hard to please their political leaders. And whenever they please their political leaders, you don't get a service. And whatever matters to this generation is service delivery. Do you know why the country is in hunger, the country is mad? It is because the systems are not working.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, because the interest of time, I would like to pick your mind on the systemic issues of governance that you would want addressed now. In as much as you have said it's a year plus since you started your demonstrations and the clamor for good governance. Right now, as we speak, which are the systematic or the most important that you would want addressed as a student leader?
Thank you. In this case, I'll not talk only as a student leader, but also as a youth who represent a massive community, that's the Meru community, and also And also as given the mandate by a political party to represent them. One, when the government was taking power, it really knew our issues. They did try, because their campaigning manifestos was inside there. There was free education, there was employment for the people, there was industrialization, there was a lot for the people themselves. But now, the government does not understand, apparently, the issues of the youths. It's sarcastic at the end of the day. So
there's no political goodwill in the issues.
Yeah, exactly. There's no that political goodwill, because at first you already understood the problems we have as a nation. You gave them in your manifesto. Everyone had high hopes, high beliefs inside the government itself. They knew a savior has come. Little did we know. So at the end of the day, especially now I'll speak as a student leader in campuses, the national funding model for our students inside these institutions. The students inside these institutions, they have, wengine wametupa shule, sasa niongee lugha yenye inafahamika na kila mtu. Wengine wameacha shule, wameenda kufanya kazi za bodaboda, wanauza smoky, because education has become a luxury. Is that where we want to be at the end of the day? How can education become a luxury? A basic need. When we said it was 844, it was supposed to be a basic need for every Kenyan child outside there.
All right.
So let us kindly, the issues of employment, education, and health, can we kindly look upon those issues?
Evans,
and those parastatals?
which are the most pressing issues, both as a Gen Z and also as a student leader, you would want looked into? In as much as you clamor for this, Diana has put it very well that we are lacking political goodwill. These things we should, you know, I believe ever since that we had free primary education from 2003 and secondary education, we should have built on that. Almost 20 years, actually 22 years later. Which are the systematic issues that you would like, of governance, that you would like addressed?
Well, thank you. I will start by giving the few examples that the president has done, which is actually things which doesn't make us happy at all. We are having several graduates on streets. Instead of the president building a factory or even a place that they can get some employment, he spent billions of money in building a church in a state house.
All right. Again, I want us to really
we want
get
the
away
issues
from the
on
political
unemployment.
side.
Of course, it is also the political. When we don't have the political goodwill, it means we won't even get what we want.
You know, the reason I'm saying that is because when we put figures and we really don't have those, the figures themselves and the signatures and the rights. Yes, we know it is being built.
Well,
Let's not go to
but
that.
we had him also coming out and he said, I don't apologize for that. To me, it has been done. And he said he didn't.
My issue is only the amount.
He said, I apologize. It means he has already consented that he has done it and he has used that amount of money. Yes, outside that, we could wish as the young people or even the people who have graduated before, those people who are on streets, those people who are at home, jobless, we could wish the government to invest on the digital economy. This is the place that majority of our comrades are actually investing on. They are already overtaxing this place, which our own youths, our own Gen Zs are thriving from. The YouTubers, all these content creators, all these people, they're actually investing in online. But now the government is overtaxing the same people, because that is the only place that Gen Z can survive from. So we could wish the government to invest much on the digital economy. This thing will actually promote more employment to our youth, because that is the place that we are in most of the time. Number two is the education system that we are having. We'll find that there are some of the proposals that we have done, that this public participation should also be done in technical institutions, in public universities, all those. When we have a candid conversation in the university, these are the same people who are facing the system day in, day out. So if the same thing is being done in the universities, the colleges and polytechnics, it means these people, they are getting involved, because whatever we are claiming is, we are not involved when it comes to government matters. We are not involved when it comes to decision making. So So we are not in the table, basically. When we are not in the table, it means we are the menu. That is why we are complaining when we are in the stomach. We have been already swallowed, and we are trying to make our ways out of the stomach that these people are using. Because the only thing they can do is to have to see us in the streets, in their hotels, filling their own bellies, of which I disagree with that. We could wish the new funding model to be revamped. We don't know the report at this particular point. The early loan cases, I'm having the comrades last semester, we allowed them to sit for their exams. But up to this point, their loans have not been dispersed to the universities. Most of the universities are actually to be shut down because of the funding model that we are having, because resources are not reaching to the universities. We are silent, yes, but we want to speak. In the next 2 weeks, actually, we are going to call for our own demonstration, because our comrades are here to go to sit for their exams, and they have not even get any funds. The parents there are being overtaxed. They have no money to contribute even to their basic life support in the universities, to their education system. They are actually failing. The elder care system that we are having even in the universities, it doesn't work for us. And we could wish even the system that we are having in the universities to be workable for everyone. The housing program that they gave us, it is only for the people who are working. Tell me about these comrades who are in universities. Where will they get their accommodation from? Are they be considered? Have they been factored in? Because they are building the same in Thika. We have several housing programs, but how have they factored in the most university and technical students who are there? They have not even consulted us in anything. So how could we wish us to support the government who doesn't even consider us when it comes to decision making? Right. So we say no, and we could wish all these things to be adjusted to fit even us, the university students and the graduates, young graduates who are on the streets. Thank you.
All right, let me give you a minute to also wrap up and tell us exactly which are the most pressing issues that you would want to be looked into as we wrap up.
Thank you so much, Ben. So the most pressing issues that the government should look into, for me, it's very simple. Let education work. Let healthcare work. Solve the issue of unemployment. So we have a government that does not listen. We have a government that does not learn. The same education system was working previous years ago. Why is it not working now? The health system was working some years back. Why is it not working now? You see, these are issues that they are really very critical issues. And as the youth, our inclusion is not ceremonial. It should be structural. We should not be happy that we are not doing it as a favor. It's something that you should be doing. So we are asking the government to ensure that they work on the health system, education system, and solve the unemployment issues. These are the issues that, let me tell you, one day I was going to the hospital.
Unfortunately, we are running out of time.
Yeah, okay. No, well, we need to have another time then.
Yes, yeah,
we can plan next time.
Yes.
But then, health, education, employment. That's all we ask for.
Very well, as he has put it, and indeed, as you've heard, is that not much is working the way the Gen Z want, but they have a clarion call, and especially when it comes to matters of education, health, and also governance, increasing the democratic space among some of the issues that they have pointed out. I have been hosting Diana McKenna Kimathi, who is a Kenyatta University student leader, Carl Peters Ogal Onyango, who is the president KCA University, and Evans Kiprono in the middle, who is the president Mount Kenya University. We've been looking at Gen Z and governance. We will be also looking at another time to get Gen Z and politics as well, but they have laid it bare. As I've said, they gave us a Damascus moment that they need to be listened. They are not the future leaders, they are the leaders of today. On the second hour, we'll be looking at the 2027 roadmap. The IEBC is now fully constituted and has already embarked on its work. What is their interest? What are some of the adjustments they need to make? And where are we in regards to 2027 election? We'll be back in a minute.